Good evening, everybody. My name is Joanna Godwin-Seidl, and I am your host again this evening for a reading of 1001 Nights. You are currently listening to the music of Kamyab Saderi, and you can actually hear very, very much the influences that Middle Eastern music brought to Spanish music. Hi Ravshana, nice to meet you this evening. Hello everybody who's joining in slowly but surely. I'm going to invite two groups to this reading and then I'm going to get reading straight away. So just listen to the beautiful music and give me 2 seconds, okay? Okay, so good evening everybody. The beautiful music that you have been hearing is the music of Kamyab Saderi. Hi Charlotte, it's very nice to greet you this evening. Hi everybody else as you join, when you join. I am going to be reading further on in 1001 Nights. And this music is so beautiful. But I can't listen to it. Let me just turn Kamyab off and we can listen to him maybe at the end of the reading. Now we are on the 335th night. I hope you are all sitting very, very comfortably. I hope you all have a nice drink with you. It's going to be about half an hour long if you've never joined us before. You can hear all of our readings on YouTube and here on Facebook as well. Please feel free to share. Please feel free to comment, like, love, whatever you want, laugh, whatever it is that makes you feel something about these readings. We're very, very happy to hear from you. Unfortunately, I won't be able to comment, obviously, during the reading because I should be concentrating on reading, hopefully. But I will certainly respond to you afterwards. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Now, when it was the 335th night, Shahrazad said, "It has reached me, O auspicious king, that the handmaids answered the Man of Al-Yaman, 'We hear and we obey.' Accordingly, the blonde rose first and pointing at the black girl said to her, 'Out on thee! It is told by tradition that whiteness saith, I am the shining light, I am the rising moon of the 14th night. My hue is patent and my brow is resplendent, and of my beauty quoth the poet, white girl with softly rounded polished cheeks, as if a pearl concealed by beauty's boon. Her stature a lift-like, her smile like mim, and o'er her eyes 2 brows that bend like noon. 'Tis as her glance were arrow, and her brows bows ever bent to shoot death's dart efson. If cheek and shape thou view, there shalt thou find rose, myrtle, basil, and narcissus one. Men want in gardens plant and set the branch. How many garths thy stature branch does own? So, my colour is like the hail, and the healthy day, and the newly culled orange spray, and the star of sparkling ray. And indeed, quoth Allah Almighty in his precious book, to his prophet Moses, on whom be peace, put thy hand into thy bosom, it shall come forth white, without hurt. And again he saith, but they whose faces shall become white shall be in the mercy of Allah. Therein shall thy remain, and they remain forever. My colour is a sign, a miracle, and my loveliness supreme, and my beauty a term extreme. It is on the like of me that raiment showeth fair and fine, and to the like of me that hearts incline. Moreover, in whiteness are many excellences. For instance, the snow falleth white from heaven, and it is traditional that the beautifulest of colours is white. The Muslims also glory in white turbans, but I should be tedious were I to tell all that may be told in praise of white. Little and enough is better than too much of unfilling stuff. So, there you have it. And indeed it is told in certain histories, related on the authority of devout men, that Noah, on whom be peace, was sleeping one day with his sons Sham and Shem, seated at his head, when a wind sprang up and lifting his clothes uncovered his nakedness, whereat Sham looked and laughed and did not cover him, for Shem arose and covered him. Presently their sire awoke, and learning what had been done by his sons, blessed Shem and cursed Sham. So Shem's face was whitened, from him sprang the prophets and the orthodox caliphs and kings, whilst Sham's face was blackened, and he fled forth to the land of Abyssinia, and of his lineage came the blacks. All people are of one mind in affirming that this is the truth, and that there is a lack of understanding. Thereupon he signed to the negress who rose, and pointing her finger at the blonde, said, dost thou not know that in the Quran, sent down to his prophet and apostle, is transmitted the saying of God the Most High? By the night, when it covereth all things with darkness, by the day, when it shineth forth. If the night were not the more illustrious, verily Allah had not warned by it, nor had given it precedence of the day. And indeed all men of wit and wisdom accept this. Knowest thou not that black is the ornament of youth, and that when hoariness descendeth upon the head, delights pass away, and the hour of death draweth in sight? Were not black the most illustrious of things, Allah had not set in it the core of the heart, and the pupil of the eye. And how excellent is the prophet when he says, I love not black girls because they show youth's colour, tinct of eye, and heart calls hue. Nor are in error who unlove the white, and hoary hairs, and winding sheet eschew. And that said of another, black girls, not white are they, all worthy love I see. Black girls wear brown, dark lips, whites, blotch of leprosy. They're obviously not getting on with each other very well. And as of the third, black girls in acts are white, and 'tis as though, like eyes with furious shine and sheen they show. If I go daft for her, be not amazed. Black bile drives melancholic mad, we know. 'Tis as my colour were the noon of night. For all, no moon it be, its splendour glow. Moreover, it is foregathering of lovers good, but in the night, let this quality and profit suffice thee. What protecteth lovers from spies and censors like the blackness of night's darkness? And what causeth them to fear discovery like the whiteness of dawn's brightness? So, how many claims to honour are there not in blackness, and how excellent is the saying of the poet, I visit them, and night black lendeth aid to me, seconding love, but dawn white is mine enemy, and that of another. How many a night have I passed with the beloved of me, while gloom with dusky tresses veiled our desires. But when the morn light showed, it caused me sad affright, and I to morning said, who worship light are liars. And saith the third, he came to see me hiding neath the skirt of night, hasting his steps as wended he in cautious plight. I rose and spread my cheek upon his path like rub, abject, and trailed my skirt to hide it from his sight. But rose the crescent moon and strave its best to show the world our loves, like nails sliced, raying radiant light. Then what befell, befell. I need not aught describe, but think thy best, and ask me naught of wrong or right. Meet not thy lover save at night, for fear of slander. The sun's a tittle-tattler, and the moon's a pander. And a fifth, she's not stopping. I love not white girls blown with fat who puff and pant. The maid for me is young brunette in Bonpoint cant. I'd rather ride a colt that's dark upon the day of race and set my friends upon the elephant. And a sixth, my lover came to me one night, and clip we both with fond embrace, and lay together till we saw the morning come with swiftest pace. Now, I pray Allah and my Lord to reunite us of his grace, and make night last me long as he lies in the arms that tightly lace. Were I to set forth all the praises of blackness, my tale would be tedious, but little, and enough is better than too much of unfilling stuff. As for thee, O blonde, thy colour is that of leprosy, and that embraces suffocation, and it is of report that hoarfrost and icy cold are in Gehenna for the torment of the wicked. Again, of black things, and excellent is ink, wherewith is written Allah's words. Were it not for black ambergris and black musk, there would be no perfumes to carry to kings. How many glories I may not mention dwell in blackness, and how well, saith the poet, cease not that musk, the nut brown musk. E'er claims the highest price, whilst for a load of whitest lime none more than dirhams bid. And, while white speck upon the eye deforms the loveliest youth, black eyes discharge the sharpest shafts in lashes from their lids. Quoth her master, "Well, sit thee down, this much sufficeth." So she sat down, and he signed to the fat girl, who rose. And Scheherazade perceived the dawn of day and ceased saying her permitted say. Now, when it was the 336th night, take a little sip of my wine. Now, when it was the 336th night, Scheherazade said, "It has reached me, O auspicious king, that the Man of Al-Yaman, the master of the handmaids, signed to the fat girl, who rose and, pointing her finger at the slim girl, bared her calves and wrists and uncovered her stomach, showing its dimples and the plump rondure of her navel. Then she donned a shift of fine stuff that exposed her whole body and said, 'Praised be Allah who created me, for that he beautified my face and made me fat and fair of the fattest and the fairest, and likened me to branches laden with fruit, and bestowed upon me abounding beauty and brightness. And praised be he no less, for that he hath given me the precedence, and honoured me when he mentioneth me in his holy book.' Quoth the Most High, and he brought a fatted calf. And he hath made me like unto a verdure full of peaches and pomegranates. In very sooth, even as the townsfolk long for fat birds, and eat of them, and love not lean birds, so do the sons of Adam desire fat meat, and eat of it. How many vauntful attributes are there not in fatness? And how well, saith the poet, 'Farewell thy love, for thee, see, the Kafilahs on the move. O man, canst bear to say adieu and leave thy love? 'Tis as her going were to seek her neighbour's tent, the gate of fat fair maid, whom hearts shall all approve. Sawest thou ever one stand before a flesher's stall, but sought of him fat flesh? The wise say, joyance is in three things: eating meat, and riding meat, and putting meat into meat. That's a great saying. I'll say it again. Joyance is in three things: eating meat, riding meat, and putting meat into meat. As for thee, O thin one, thy calves are like the shanks of sparrows or the pokers of furnaces, and thou art a cruciform plank or a piece of flesh, poor and rank. There is naught in thee to gladden the heart, even as saith the poet. With Allah, take I refuge from whatever driveth me, to bed with one like foot rasps or the roughest ropery. In every limb she hath a horn that butteth me whenever. I fain would rest, so morn and eve I wend me warily. Quoth her master, sit thee down, this much sufficeth. So she sat down, and he signed to the slender girl, who rose as she were a willow wand, or a rattan frond, or a stalk of sweet basil, and said, Praise be Allah who created me and beautified me and made my embraces the end of all desire, and likened me to the branch whereto all hearts incline. If I rise lightly. If I sit prettily. If I am nimble-witted at a jest, and merry-souled than mirth itself. Never heard I one describe his mistress, saying, my beloved is the bigness of an elephant, or like a mountain long and broad, but rather, my lady hath a slender waist and a slim shape. Furthermore, a little food filleth me, and a little water quencheth my thirst. My sport is agile, and my habit active. For I am sprightlier than the sparrow, and lighter skipping than the starling. My favours are the longing of the lover, and the delight of the desirer. For I am goodly of shape, sweet of smile, and graceful as the bending willow wand, or the rattan cane, or the stalk of the basil plant. Nor is there any can compare me in loveliness, even as saith one of me. Thy shape with willow branch I dare compare, and hold thy figure as my fortunes fair. I wake each morn distraught and follow thee, and from the rival's eye in fear I fare. It is for the like of me that amorists run mad, and that those who desire me wax distracted. If my lover were to draw me to him, I am drawn to him. And if he would have me incline to him, I incline to him, and not against him. But now, as for thee, O fat of body, thine eating is the feeding of an elephant, and neither much nor little filleth thee. When thou liest with a man who is lean, he hath no ease of thee, nor can he anyways take his pleasure of thee. For the bigness of thy belly holdeth him off from going in unto thee, and the fatness of thy thighs hindereth him from coming at thy slit. What goodness is there in thy grossness, and what courtesy or pleasantness in thy coarseness? Fat flesh is fit for naught but the flesher, nor is there one point therein that pleadeth for praise. If one joke with thee, thou art angry. If one sport with thee, thou art sulky. If thou sleep, thou snorest. If thou walk, thou lollest out of thy tongue. If thou eat, thou art never filled. Thou art heavier than mountains, and fouler than corruption and crime. Thou hast in thee nor agility, nor benedicite, nor thinkest thou of aught save meat and sleep. When thou pissest, thou swissest, and if thou turd, thou gruntest like a bursten wineskin, or an elephant transmogrified. And if thou go to the water closet, thou needest one to vash thy gap and pluck out the hairs which overgrow it. And this is the extreme of sluggishness, and the sign outward and visible of stupidity. In short, there is no good thing about thee. And indeed, the poet saith of thee, heavy and swollen like an urine bladder blown, with hips and thighs like mountain propping piles of stone. Whene'er she walks in Western Hemisphere, her tread makes the far Eastern world with weight to moan and groan. Quoth her master, sit thee down, this sufficeth. So she sat down, and he signed. To the yellow girl, who rose to her feet and praised Allah Almighty and magnified his name, calling down peace and blessing on Muhammad, the best of his creatures. After which she pointed a finger at the brunette and said to her, and Shahrazad perceived the dawn of day and ceased to say her permitted say. Amazing. I am going to finish for tonight because Saman is actually back tomorrow. She's able to come tomorrow after all, and I am going to leave her to tell you the rest of these beautiful, beautiful, hi Tim, hi, and I hope I'm not saying this wrong, smug kid, hi Tim, you're watching and you're watching again, that's so funny, hi Maurizio. I'm going to leave Saman to carry on telling the beautiful tales of how these women are being so kind and lovely to each other, and why they are being so kind and lovely to each other. Let's hope this tale has a positive end. We do not leave anything out. Occasionally, just occasionally, we do tweak some of the words. Like, for example, we don't say the N word, which has come up occasionally in the stories so far. We are, of course, on book 4. So occasionally there has been some somewhat untoward words come up. And I have to admit to a little bit dicing the white story, just a little bit. So, but otherwise it was in its entirety. So I will leave the story from the yellow girl to the brunette until tomorrow for Saman to read. It is now 9:30. I wish you all a very, very, very beautiful evening, a very beautiful day if your day is just starting. Sweet, 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 sweet dreams from me. Many blessings. I know I can't touch my hand. Anyway, many blessings. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. And we will see each other potentially, yes, well, if Saman's reading tomorrow, then we will see each other next Tuesday. Do not forget that on the 20th of March, 2021 at 9 p.m, we will be having a special reading. And if any of you have seen some of my notifications on other pages, I am looking for beautiful dresses for that evening. So watch this space on the Vienna Theatre Project on the 1001 Nights group page to find out more about the reading on the 20th of March. I don't think I have anything more to say. Take very, very good care of yourselves. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. Keep social distancing. And I wish you, wherever you are, all over the world, a very, very wonderful weekend this weekend. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.